And I'm Juan.
And this is Marriage is for Adults. You're supposed to say it together.
Oh, okay. Let's try it again.
No.
Let's try it again.
This is Marriage for Adults. No. Today.
Marriage is for adults, not marriage for adults.
I said marriage is for adults.
Okay. Let's make sure we get it straight.
So, welcome back. This is episode 2, and this is going to be a 2-part series on friendship. So, this is something that Juan and I have kind of been working on in our relationship most recently, is, focusing on our friendship from a perspective of like spirituality. I feel like God has given us our spouse to enjoy, to have companionship with. And so our question to each other is, and everyone else, is your spouse your BFF? So am I your best friend forever?
So the question is, are you my BFF? So I think when we talk about BFF, like, I think it has to be a mutual decision, right? Like, is there such thing as a one-way BFF? Because I think like one-way BFF would be very accurate. I think that would be the accurate way to describe
me.
Yes, us. But yeah, man, I would say, if you say that you're going to commit your life to doing life to someone.
It's a yes or no question. Am I your BFF?
Yes. In my mind, she's my BFF. Yes.
Now, is Juan my BFF?
Yeah, let's get there. Let's get to that.
I am working towards becoming best friends with Juan. I think that there's definitely was a disconnect, and so I am working. I'm striving towards that goal of becoming best friends, because if it's kind of my next question is like, how good of friends do you think we were before we got married?
So I think before we got married, we were really good friends, in theory.
Yeah.
I think that we thought that we were good friends, or we thought that we were friends because we enjoyed each other, we enjoyed each other's company. We really just have fun with each other. We have fun.
Oh my gosh.
With each other. I mean,
that's a whole nother. We'll do another episode.
No, but I mean, I think the test of time, and when things really got tough, there's the saying that a faith that's never been tested can't be trusted. And I think that goes the same. I think that goes the same thing when you talk about friendship. Like, a friendship that's never been tested can't be trusted. And I think we had a lot of untrusted, untested friendships. And I think over time we found out, where we really stood. So,
because I think like before we were married, like we did enjoy each other. There was distance. You lived in LA, I lived in the IE, or Inland Empire. And so, like, it's kind of like when you live with your best friend, you start to see things that you didn't see before, like when you didn't live together. So that's why you'll see like a lot of people who say like, I love my best friend, but I can't live with them. But now we're in this situation where, well, I want to be best friends with him. It's kind of like when I hear people talk about, oh, I married my best friend. I don't feel that way. I wanted to want to be marrying my best friend. And so before we got married, I feel like I was living that want and not that reality. And so then when we got married, which is really my next question, is like, how did life and marriage affect our friendship?
So for context, for those who may not know, so Bree and I mean, we dated for about 6 months before I proposed to her. We knew each other in college.
We did not date.
We dated in college.
We did not, because I have to use that caveat because he says it all the time. And we did not date in college.
Bree came. She spent the night at my house.
Because you lived 10 minutes from the court, and I needed to fight a traffic ticket, and I didn't want to get up at 7 a.m. to have to get
I cooked for her. Okay.
It's not my fault that I'm just a nice girl.
That's a date. I took her somewhere. That's a date. We dated.
No, we didn't.
Anyway, but as I digress.
This is why we're not best friends right now.
So we didn't, some people live with their, we didn't have this long stint where we dated.
And we didn't have a really long engagement either. We were engaged for like 9 months.
Maybe about 9 months, right? So total like 15 months before We actually said I do and committed ourselves to each other. And we didn't live with each other during that time, right? So there's a lot of people who live with each other and they say, oh my gosh, I live with them, and before they got married and stuff like that. So they were able to see some of those crazy things that the other person does. We didn't get a chance to do it. So I think when we got married and life,
Happened.
hold on, that's a garbage truck, but it's okay. So I think when you talk about like when life really hit, whew, I think we saw that we thought we were friends. We thought we were like, Ace Boon Coon and all of that, BFFs, but we really was just,
Associates.
just acquaintances, right? So I think we found a lot, and I think when you talk about best friends, if you think about your best friends, usually best friends are those people who've been through things with you, and so I think I looked at it like, hey, this is a really awesome opportunity for us to really strengthen our friendship.
And I did not look at it that way. Life affected our friendship hard. Like, it slapped us in the face, or me at least, and was like, you're not friends. So I struggled a lot with, like, once we hit our first trials, it was just like, oh my gosh, we're not friends. And I was comparing it to other friendships that I had. Like, I don't have a whole ton of friends. I have like my core group, and I'm so used to like not consciously having to work on a friendship. All of the friends I have is like, my sister's my best friend, and we've been best friends for 32 years because that's how long I've been alive. So all the other, like, my girlfriends that I have, we've met and we've just clicked, and we just have this like instant connection, this instant bond, and we just go from there. So I've never really had to like consciously make the effort behind a friendship, and so that's what I struggle with when we started going through hard times, and then too, because then I started the blame game, and so it was like, well, you're not my friend because if you were my friend, like, you wouldn't be doing this. And so I really had to like get in some deep prayer behind like being friends with him. And when I think of like the story of Adam and Eve, and like woman was made for man as companionship. God said it's not good for man to be alone, and he's gonna make woman be his companion, and that it's beneficial for the man's life. And so I had to kind of start thinking about it in a different way. Like, my companionship with Juan is beneficial for his life, and so that's, to me, like a very like heavy call, from my perspective as a woman, to be that beneficial partner for my husband. And so that has in recent times helped me to really focus on like just being his friend. And so that comes to my next question, is like, how can you build on your friendship with your spouse? And especially like for me, when it comes to like not knowing how do you like work on a friendship? Because you can't go anywhere. Like, it's not like those friends who piss you off and then you just like ice them out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one of the things is remembering that you do have more in common than you don't, right? And I think that's the hard part. I think it's about like what you focus on. I think whatever you spend your time and your attention and your energy on, it gets highlighted. So, for example, if you are really focusing your energy and your attention and your focus on truly being aware and attentive to be supportive and to make your spouse like the happiest person in the world, you don't have time to really magnify the things that they don't do really well, right? Or the things that maybe you guys don't agree with. It's a truck right there, but hopefully y'all can still hear me. I mean, I think the big thing is like every day, trying to make it a game, right? Like every day is like, I'm trying to out happy you, right? So why are you making that face?
That's the worst sentence ever. I'm trying to out happy you.
See, that's just focusing on the negative, right?
I'm focusing on the negative.
No, but seriously, it's like every day really trying to outdo the other person with making the other person happy. How can you not be friends when the person who you are doing life with is committing themselves to doing things that make you happy, to engaging in activities that maybe they don't even want to engage in, but they're doing it because they love you. They're doing it because they want to make you happy. They're doing it because they want to put a smile on your face. And I think as you continue to do that, the other person, at some point, it may take them a little longer, will start to recognize, like, wow, you know what? This person is doing this, but it's not doing it and saying, oh, I don't want to go to this, to this movie, but I'm going to go see it. The only reason I'm going to go see it is, because you. Not putting it out there and pointing it out to them like that, but really just go see the movie. Your wife wants to go see it, your husband wants to go see it, your spouse wants to go see it. You're saying, hey, you know what? I'll go see it. I love you, yeah, let's go do it. Let's go do it together. And it brings joy, right? So I think, really practicing that, really, putting that at the forefront of your mind can really help to improve your friendship and overall relationship.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, like you were saying, you're not pointing it out for your spouse to then have to say, so they feel obligated or anything like that. But then also, so something I had to learn how to do was, one, not focus on our differences, because I feel like that was the biggest stumbling block for me, was just focusing on how unsimilar, or is it dissimilar and unsimilar?
Yeah, I don't know.
However, not alike we were. Shut up. It was just I like Golden Girls and really old classic TV shows. I love Westerns. I love there's a Golden Girls moment for every moment in life.
And I like stuff that got black people in it.
Oh,
so
my God.
That's all I'm saying. So that's a whole nother topic, but we'll talk about that another day.
Golden Girls knows no color, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I like good things, and then he likes all these things that are just so I really struggled with our differences, and so I had to, one, stop focusing on that, and then also, like he said, when your spouse is doing something that they necessarily wouldn't do, or that's just not their thing, for you, recognizing that. And that's something else that I wasn't doing. We were doing a lot of things that I liked to do, and I wasn't really even being conscious, oh, this isn't even something that he would just normally do, but he's horseback riding. He has terrible allergies, and I forgot the Benadryl when we went, but he suffered through that, because I love to go horseback riding, and so he's willing to experience different things as well. There's a lot of things I do and like to do that he's never done before, and I talk about these things, and then it's also about paying attention to just your spouse's interest, and then on top of that, though, because I'm oblivious to a lot of things, and so I'm always asking him well, just tell me what you like to do, and he's always just well, I'm simple, and that makes it hard for me sometimes to really feel trying to find an activity that he would like to do, because I'm always so concerned about, well, I don't know if he'll like this, I don't know if he'll like that. So also from the other party's perspective, tell your spouse too what you like to do, and then that gives them an opportunity to now take that information, I feel and go, no, it's true.
Yeah, but
and then you I feel then you grow over time, and then you don't need that. But in the beginning, especially when I feel there's a rift in the friendship and you're trying to build that, you have to have supporting blocks.
But what you want from a friend, you want your friend to be genuinely concerned about
I know that, but I'm
right.
just,
So it's so
the question is, how can you help build that relationship? So I'm saying that
but the question
friends
is,
don't cut
how
each other
can
off.
You, right? And so this is my thing. I think if we have to all take ownership in our role in it, right? So by saying, but you need to tell me. No.
I'm not saying that.
What strategies can we do individually? We got to ask
so,
questions.
Yeah, you can help me help you by telling me what you want to do.
But so how do we take that and flip it so that way it's a personal thing? I think on us, we got to ask questions. Don't assume.
Yeah, I guess.
We have to ask questions, and if you.
But okay, yes, we have to ask questions, but you can't just be well, I'm a simple guy, I like whatever.
Then you probe. You ask clarifying questions.
I do, and then you always That is always your answer.
No.
Yes, it is.
I disagree. America, I disagree. Listen, it's
Don't lie to your best friend.
ask clarifying questions. You ask a question, and if you ask a surface level question, you're gonna get a surface level answer. If you ask so what do you like to do? I mean, what do you
Okay.
expect to do? Like, so
If you ask me what do I like to do, I will give you a whole list of things.
lies.
No.
That's like me asking you, what do you want to eat?
That's different.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna ask, oh, what do you want to eat? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Oh, okay, well, hold on. And then this is how it goes. What do you want to eat? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
You're getting off topic.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get Chinese food. Well, I don't want Chinese food. You just said it doesn't matter. Well, I know, but I just don't want Chinese food. Well, what about, okay, but what about Thai food? No, I had Thai
That's
food.
not true.
I had Thai food for lunch. Okay, well then well you tell me what you want. I don't know what you want. I'll get whatever you want. Well then, like, because I'm asking you the wrong questions. What I should be asking you is, hey, you know, I really was thinking about Thai food. How does that sound for dinner? Because I'm being specific. So as opposed to just asking these. So, you know, it's the same thing with like.
So I have to be like, do you like horseback riding? Do you
No,
like-
not just because you ask me open-ended questions. You can ask, hey, you know, I really enjoy horseback riding. How do you feel about horseback riding?
I guess.
Because now you're asking me questions that it's going to give you like a little bit more
Relationships
insight.
take work.
Exactly. That's what it all boils down to. Who's willing to do the work?
Yes.
Because most of our friendships, I think, are based on like very surface level
Well,
stuff.
I wouldn't say surface level stuff, but I feel like a lot of, from my perspective or my experience, my relationships, friendships are based off of a lot of strong common interests, a lot of personality similarities. Like my soul sister and I are like the same person, so it doesn't take much work, in a sense, for our friendship to just continue to grow. We're very much alike. So
And there's people out there who marry people who are just like them, right? I know some.
we did not
actually.
do that.
But we didn't, right? But I think part of it is like, if we really sat down and had some conversations, like, man, our love for God is strong, you know, our desire to please people. We both have huge hearts. Like, my sense of humor is way better than hers.
It's
but
not.
but it's okay, and I forgive her for that.
But
and I don't
it's
hold that
not.
against
You're
her.
not
You know
funny.
what I
I
mean?
don't know who you talk to. You think you're funny.
Anyway, what's the next question?
Because people are laughing doesn't mean they're laughing with you.
What's
all
the next
time.
question?
That was the last question because you ruined it with thinking that you're funny because you're not. That's actually part 2 that we're gonna go into on friendship. Is about humor and laughing, like laughing even in the hard times. How can you use humor to get you through those tough times, especially when you and your spouse don't see eye to eye on the issues and they don't see eye to eye on level of humor.
But we'll talk about that later.
Because I'm much funnier.
My last. Any last thoughts?
Last thoughts. It is worth the work to become better friends, even if you're already friends, just to continue to be conscious about working towards really enjoying your spouse's company. I've noticed a difference just over the last week in like really seeking God on what do I need to do to change, and it's just, I feel like I can feel the difference in my attitude and like, shut up. See, this is why you ruin everything. I've seen the difference in my attitude and just, it's nothing but God, because I was not willing to let go of.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
On
He
humor.
turned this attitude around, Lord. Yes, you did.
Right.
Won't he do it?
Are you done?
Yes, I'm sorry. Won't he do?
So I feel that if you're struggling with it, just kind of sharing from my own testimony, if you're struggling with it, really truly just like be just honest and just say, Lord, I'm struggling with being friends with my husband, because that was what my prayer was, because it was hard and I was tired of just always being angry and frustrated and not having like a joy when it came to our relationship. And I mean even just over the last week, like I missed having fun, and I feel like we got caught up in every days of life, you know, it just became this monotonous routine of like, did you pay this bill? You know, we have to be at this appointment at 6 o'clock. You have da 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 da. And then we just kind of got lost in like having fun together. And I really feel like God's helped change my perspective to stop focusing on the negative, because I could not let go of why we were so different. And that's where I had just like tunnel vision on that, and just my eyes have been open to be able to let that go and just not only embrace the differences and not let them just irk me so much, but to then be able to see where our common ground is. So it's worth the work to find that common ground. So that's my last thoughts.
My last thoughts are, this friendship is a friendship or type of relationship that is unlike any other one that you have. So I think approaching it with a different mindset is very beneficial.
Yes. Don't compare it to other friends.
I thought these were my last.
Oh my gosh. I was just trying to help your last thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Companion,
Okay.
helpmate, helping
I guess
you
there
with
are
your
last thoughts. You done? Are you done, or are you
Go
finished?
ahead. Really?
Are you okay? Put some respect on my name. Anyway, I think you got to approach the relationship, just this particular relationship, in a different manner. Like, it's not gonna be like your best friend probably from college who, man, you instantly click because maybe y'all the only two, black people in the class, and y'all looked and you asked the question like, do Black lives matter or do all lives matter? And they were like, nah, Black lives matter. You were like, oh, fam, we good. Like, it might not be that type of, friendship, but you married the person for a reason, and there were some amazing qualities in that individual that you saw that maybe you didn't even see yourself. And I think just remembering that, like, this friendship is one that should be pushing each other, that should be encouraging us to grow, and should make us uncomfortable at times. And I think that, now, maybe not all times, but should make us uncomfortable at some points, because they're encouraging us to grow. And I just think that, just as long as you don't, because I think that was something that I used to do. I used to compare Bree's friendships with other people to her friendship with me, not understanding that our friendship is different, and it wasn't fair to do that. I think it's fair to say, like, oh man, when you're with these people, you act this way. When you're with me, you act, well, yeah, because she ain't around me. I mean, but I think the more that we focus on, I think the last thing is really thinking about what we can do to be a better friend. And I think if we're focusing on being the best friend possible, then we can expect our spouse, then we have a leg to stand on, right? If we're not being a good friend ourselves, if we're not really being intentional about making sure that we're there in those moments where they need us, making sure that we're pushing and encouraging and supporting, because to me that's what a real friend does. They push, they encourage, they support. They're there through the tough times. Friends are there when sometimes family's not, right? Friends, you tell friends things that a lot of times you share things with your friends that you don't even share with your family members. And I think putting yourself and making yourself vulnerable is extremely important to your friendship with your spouse. You got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You can't say I do and still operate as an individual with secrets. And no, I mean, you got to be transparent.
Yeah.
And
it's not easy, but you have to.
No, it ain't easy, and it's a lifelong journey. I think even for those people who, I know people who've been married for many more years than we have, and they're constantly, every day, just working on that friendship, because it gets tested, and there's gonna be some days when y'all not gonna be friends, and it's okay.
I wouldn't say that you're not gonna be friends, but you're not gonna like each other.
Well, I mean, like I tell Bree sometimes, there's days I don't like her, but I love her.
Which I don't know why. I'm the most likable person.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and end this video.
So, what? I
Nothing.
am likable.
Okay.
The most.
I just have to say one thing. Bree looking good right now, ain't she? She looking, boy, if...
It's hot out here.
It's hot out here, all right. It's hot.
So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this first part on friendship. Let us know your thoughts, things that you may have struggled with, how you found that you were able to build your relationship with your spouse, or things that you're struggling with. And if this helped you kind of start dialogue within your relationship, we'd love to hear from you all. So make sure you send us all your thoughts, and comments
down there.
and all those good
I'm gonna put
things.
like down there. I think I'll put some arrows or something right there.
Anyway.
All right.
And then check us out next week for part 2, where we continue on friendship, talking about laughing through the hard times. See y'all later.
Peace. Hey, remember, marriage is...
No, I'm not doing it together because you didn't do it.
You're a hater, bro.
On
She's
the
such
first
a hater.
time. Marriage is for adults.
Marriage is for adults. Peace.